Hi everyone, Kris from Stone Age Gamer here, and welcome back to Stone Age Gaming, a show where I talk about random stuff that I've amassed over the years. Let's talk a little bit about competitive video gaming. My first taste of the world of competitive video games came from the movie The Wizard, where I got to watch that little kid compete in Super Mario Bros. 3 and Ninja Gaiden and all sorts of other stuff, and it was one of the coolest things in the world. Nowadays, competitive gaming is humongous. You've got big tournaments like EVO, people winning thousands and thousands of dollars, but sometimes the prizes are money, and sometimes the prizes are trophies. Let's take a look. Okay, let's talk about some video game trophies, and, well, let's start simple. The first video game trophies I ever got, I actually didn't have to win at all, because I got them from Toys R Us. Yes, my parents bought me these guys from Toys R Us, and these are super awesome, and yes, they're technically trophies. That's what they were sold as. If you look right here, you were supposed to put your name, your high score, and date on these little guys here. And this is Mario running away from a, orange bullet bill for some reason. Never really quite understood that, but hey, it's a really awesome, Mario statue. These little statues and stuff didn't exist when I was a kid. This was kind of the best we got. And then this is the other one I have here. This is Mario. This had two high score stickers. I can't remember if they came with the stickers and you had to put them on, or if they were already on when I bought them. Goodness gracious, I have no idea. But here's Mario with a kind of a scared look on his face, holding a star. Also has a very scared look on his face. And then this blooper is coming after him. And as you can tell, these things have been around. I've had them since I was a kid, and I still love them. There are a bunch more of these things, too. I think there's a couple of Punch-Out ones and Zelda ones. I've always wanted to track those down, but they're ridiculously expensive on the aftermarket. So I just have the two that I had when I was a little kid. Next up, let's have a look at what's inside this thing. So, I used to work at a comic book store, and one of my customers knew that I was a crazy Nintendo collector, and he said, "I have a really weird Nintendo thing. Do you want it?" I said, "Sure." I didn't even care what it was, so he showed up one day with this. Turns out that he had competed in some sort of tournament, and he won this thing. So let's have a look inside. This is a very bizarre thing. Crack this sucker open, and we have this. This is the Power Play Saturdays Champion prize trophy thing. It is a necklace, a giant chain necklace. I'll go ahead and yank this out here. Yeah, this is really something special. This is indeed made of metal, and man, would you look at that, huh? I don't know what the Power Play Saturdays thing was. Whatever it was, it didn't happen around me. This has got to be GameCube era. Just judging by this gaudy piece of jewelry, this just smells GameCube to me, but I could be wrong. Either way, I was very grateful that he gave it to me. It's really flippin' weird, but I love this thing. It's super cool, and you got this metal Nintendo case to keep it in, and yeah, it's a piece of fun. Okay, so this one isn't really a trophy, but it is a prize. Boom. Do you know what this is? This is underwear. This is a pair of underpants, and do they look familiar to you? Maybe, perhaps, Capcom Arcade Classics make it feel a little bit more familiar. Yes, these are Arthur's boxer shorts. There was an online trivia thing that Capcom did on their Facebook page around when Capcom Arcade Classics came out on PS2 and Xbox, I think. And I don't know why I knew the answer to this, but they asked what pattern is on Arthur's boxer shorts, and everyone was answering hearts. And I noticed that nobody had said strawberries yet. And honestly, I don't know why I knew it was strawberries, but I did. So I answered, and I won. And they mailed me these boxer shorts. And I've never worn them. I just kind of thought they were much cooler as a memento. But yeah, that's Arthur's boxer shorts. Probably one of my favorite prizes I've ever won for anything video game related. Look at that. Last but not least, we have this guy right here. I showed this off in the beginning of the video, and this is, well, this has a pretty fun story behind it. there was a barcade in Brooklyn when I lived in New York. And I remember the website Destructoid was posting about a retro video game tournament that was being hosted there by Lovesack, the Lovesack NES Classic. And the idea was that they wanted to make a retro game tournament that was similar to the thing at the end of the Wizard, right? So I had to do the first level of Contra, the first 3 fighters in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and then the first level of Super Mario Brothers as quick as I could. And I practiced and practiced and practiced. And then I got there, and clearly nobody else was taking this as seriously as I was, because there were a handful of other competitors, but nobody even came close to doing what I was doing. And so I kind of overdid it. But the promise was that there was going to be a Power Glove trophy. And so I won, but they weren't ready yet. They said, oh, we're still making the Power Glove trophy, but it's on its way here, I promise. So I just kind of hung out for a while after doing the tournament, and then they showed up with this thing. And it's pretty impressive looking on the front, because the back is, well, it's this. And the base is really nothing all that special. It looks like this was really thrown together very quickly. And I think this actually broke here. I have to be very, very careful with it because I glued this back on. This is all very thin and flimsy, but it's one of my favorite things because they literally took a mold of a Power Glove and made a trophy out of it and spray painted it this bronzish color, and it's totally awesome. This sits upstairs in my living room on my mantle because my wife is a very understanding woman. And it is, yeah, it's definitely not modeled after a Power Glove. It's 100% 1-to-1. This is the size of the Power Glove, but this is probably my favorite one, and I love this thing. So yeah, video game competitions. I'm not really good enough to win a whole lot of video game competitions myself, so I don't really go for the competitive things, but I love watching it. I love watching pro Street Fighter players. It's probably my favorite thing to see. I love tuning in and watching the best of the best compete in Street Fighter. I just think it's the coolest darn thing. But that's gonna pretty much wrap it up. If you liked what you saw here today, please comment, like, and subscribe. Let us know if there are any cool video game trophies that you've won. I would love to see pictures of weird prizes or trophies that you guys have won from any particular thing that you've competed in. I love that kind of stuff, and as you saw, I've won a couple of weirdo looking ones myself, so there's definitely more weird stuff out there, and I would love to see it. Thanks again for watching, everybody. On behalf of all of us here at Stone Age Gamer, keep playing games. How could you possibly know that? This is supposed to be a brand new game. How could you know what the warp whistle does?